Hi, World History. It's Monday, May 11th, and I've been not with you for some time, since the middle of March, and here we are in May. I want you to know that I am thinking of you, and I hope that you and your families are doing well. Um, we just finished World War II, and now we are beginning the Cold War. So that's our final unit, I believe, of this school year. And I just want you to know that I realize that none of us expected that your sophomore year was going to be turn into an online learning experience. And I know that some of you are probably struggling for, maybe you don't have internet, maybe it's just a real difficult thing for you. But I want to recognize the students that have been able to rise above this difficulty, and they have been consistently turning in the work. So I just want to recognize those students. So period 1, Neridia, Vanessa, Soledad, Stephanie, and Miguel, you've been doing a phenomenal job of turning in your work. And it's a real salute to you. In period 3, we've got Eric, Maylin, Miguel Morales, Gamaliel, Carlos Morales, and Marcos. You've been very consistent in turning in your work, and I want you to know that I understand how difficult it's been for you, and I applaud your efforts. So now I thought that it would be fun and different if this time I started the Cold War unit with you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play the Cold War video for you. And it's only 10 minutes, but it gives us a really good introduction to this unit. And then I'll provide you with an assignment, of course, just like normal. It's going to be reading and Cornell note-taking and some comprehension questions. But I just wanted to check in with you. I wanted to let you know that I am thinking of you. I'm here for you. And even though we're getting close to the end, if there's anything that you need, please let me know. I'm here for you, okay? So let's get started with the presentation. 10 minutes, introduction to the Cold War.
During World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union were allies. But after the war, the Communist Soviets and Democratic Americans had become enemies. Each side attempted to be the world's top superpower. The two nations sought to dominate in space, in military power, and in the allied countries they could lead. Their conflict is known as the Cold War. After World War II, the Soviets quickly took control of many Eastern European countries and enforced communist rule in them. Britain's Prime Minister Winston Churchill referred to the Iron Curtain that separated the free countries in the West from the communist countries in the East. President Harry Truman agreed that communism was a threat to the world. He proposed the Truman Doctrine, the policy of opposing the spread of communism. Secretary of State George C. Marshall proposed a plan to help carry out that doctrine. The Marshall Plan offered aid to European countries that were rebuilding after World War II. But communism quickly spread from Eastern Europe and the USSR to Asia. On June 25, 1950, communist forces from North Korea crossed the border and invaded South Korea. They quickly fought their way to Seoul, the capital of South Korea. Truman persuaded the United Nations to send a military force to help South Korea. Truman selected General Douglas MacArthur to lead these troops, 90% of whom were American. The North Korean army was quickly driven back, but when Chinese troops joined them, the war settled into a stalemate. In the United States during this time, anti-communist hysteria was taking place. Senator Joseph McCarthy led the campaign that accused many people of being Soviet spies. The case of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg gained public attention. The couple was accused of spying for the Soviet government. The Rosenbergs were tried and convicted of passing nuclear secrets to the Soviets. Despite the protests of some, they were executed in 1953. As nuclear technology advanced, the United States and the Soviet Union waged an arms race. Each country wanted to have more firepower than the other. In 1962, in the midst of this arms race, a new crisis arose. U.S. spy planes flying over Cuba took pictures of Soviet missiles on the island.
We now know that the Soviet Union has decided to transform Cuba into a base for communist aggression, into a base for putting all of the Americas under the nuclear gun.
President John F. Kennedy quickly announced a blockade to prevent any Soviet ship from reaching Cuba. For 13 days, the world held its breath as the Soviet ships neared the blockade. If any shots were fired, everyone feared there would be a nuclear war. But President Kennedy and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev reached an agreement. The Soviets would remove their missiles from Cuba, and the United States would call back its blockade. While nuclear war was avoided in Cuba, the two sides confronted each other again in Germany. The communist government of East Germany built the Berlin Wall, which separated the citizens of East and West Germany. The wall stood for nearly 30 years, separating the oppressed from the free, and symbolizing the deep divisions that split the world during the Cold War.
From World War I into the Russian Revolution and all the events that took place leading to the end of monarchy in Russia and the beginning of communism and changing the name from Russia to the Soviet Union, and then the development of the Cold War, which was really, you know, the idea that communism and capitalism could not coexist. So going along with this video, your next assignment is to start chapter 17 in your textbook. It's chapter 17, starting on page 531. It's the Cold War Superpowers Face Off. So I'll have a handout for you that'll be attached to this video so that you can start your reading, your Cornell notes, and your comprehension questions. If you have any questions, if you need anything, please send an email. I'd love to hear from you. I'd just even like to know how you're doing. Just let me know how you are, okay? So take care and good luck. And I hopefully will talk to you again soon. All right, take care.